What's up?
What's going on?
What's up, party peoples?
Michael, thanks for letting me come on your coffee chat. Can you hear me? Oh, I hear Michael now.
I hear you.
Okay, now I hear you.
Okay.
Technical problems have been worked out.
All right, there we go. I was spitting fire there for a little bit. I had so many tips and tricks and hacks, and I had funny jokes coming out, and all of you missed it.
Yeah.
Heidi, I don't hear the one guy.
Michael, that's you. You're the one guy.
I don't know. This might be you.
Could be.
I look more like a dude. You're more of a guy.
I'm a guy. I don't know. I think I'm a dude. You're a guy.
I don't think so. The dreads and everything, the scraggly trailer park beard I got going on.
That's true. You're definitely a dude.
I'm way more of a dude. Thank you, Mauricio. Appreciate that. Oh, snap, Facebook user.
Let us see who you are.
Users.
You're more likely to get your questions answered if you let us know who you are. I will say that.
Yeah. So hey, I think for fun today, we'll be giving away one free copy of the course to some folks on the call.
Me?
Yeah. We're going to be giving away one free copy of Shine On 100K on the call today, I think. So I've got to think through how you win it now. So we'll come back to that. Stay tuned. Heidi says they can hear us now. Appreciate that. All right. 78 people. We're doing something a little different today. We're streaming on Facebook and YouTube. Haven't done that before yet. We have April. April here. Oh, did it let me click it? April here is watching on YouTube.
Ooh.
You're having a good experience over there. All right. All right. John, are you about ready to rock and roll?
I don't know. You think, is everybody ready to have to listen to me and hear about a really cool new announcement? Something I think probably the most excited person who's not in the building would be Michael, because he's not in the building. If he was in the building, he'd still be the most excited person for this.
About once a week, we do something at Shine On that makes me want to quit and just be a seller again.
Yeah.
Because
Michael has come up with something and he has championed it across the finish line, and now he's pissed because he's giving it to all of you. And so he wants to keep this all for himself.
It's like I've created an army of competition.
Yeah. Well, are we ready to kind of announce what we're doing?
Yeah, man. Take it away.
All right. So, one of the big things that we constantly get asked for is ways to raise your average order value. Obviously, that's super important. If you can get $60 rather than $50, that adds some profit margins for you that allows you to go out and spend a little bit differently and play with your advertising a little bit more and give you some more margins. And I know upsells is something you guys have really been looking forward to. And I'll say Michael's one just like you guys. So we've got an upsell for you. I just want to go ahead. I'm gonna lift this up. I'm gonna show it. We're all gonna ooh and we're all gonna ah over it. And then I'm actually gonna get into how it works. So I'm gonna try and do my best Vanna White impression. Ooh. Oh, look at that. Is that a nice looking box? Or do you see that light in there? Just illuminating that message card, making it look beautiful, shining off this beautiful necklace. Oh man, talk about ad sales and beautiful imagery for your ads. This is it right here. All right. So as you can see, we are adding a new luxury box as an upsell that you can use on your products. But during the process of figuring out how we wanted to give this upsell to you guys, we didn't want to force your hand in anything. We wanted to give you some different options. And a lot of this was from Michael, and he played with different ways of selling this box and how you can achieve the value, the value add that you're going for. So, Michael, can you pull up my screen that's being shared right now? So here is one of our crosses, and what you can see here is that it just looks normal product, right? So I went and I created one of our handcrafted crosses, and when you go to create one of these products now, you're going to see two variants because this product doesn't have a variant. It's a standalone product. It's just a silver cross. So we've done is we've added a second variant. And what that variant does, if you choose to show it, is it will actually show, well, let me go back to the product page so you can see it. You can actually see here that we have a standard box option, and then we have the mahogany style luxury box as well as a variant on this page. And obviously there's different prices associated with the box. And now, because we want to make sure you're capturing as many upsells as possible, besides just making this a standalone variant on the page, if your customer decides to actually purchase a standard box, when they go to hit add to cart, they get hit with an upsell pop-up that says, you sure you don't want this luxury box? You're saving, it's at only $10. It's worth $20. We're giving it to you 50% off. Convert and go to the wooden box. So that's how we're building the product. If you choose to sell both variants of the product, the standard box and the luxury box. Now, there's still a third way that you can set up this product. And this is selling only the luxury box as a standalone item. So you can actually choose to not publish the standard box and only publish the luxury style box here. And you'll actually just get a standalone product of just the luxury box. And we've got some beautiful mock-ups that our graphic design team has put together for you. They look super great. And before I let Michael go and start talking about some of the marketing avenues for this, I want to let you know what's available with a wooden box, because unfortunately, not everything is available with the luxury box because of some constraints with how it works. But what we do have available is our love knot. I've got interlocking hearts. I've got what you're seeing right here on the page, the crafted cross. I've got alluring beauty. And for the app sellers, we have the stethoscope necklace. So 5 different options of necklaces that you can sell standard, you can sell just luxury, or you can sell it, the luxury item, as an upsell. So there's 5 different products, which I think is really awesome. And many of you are probably already selling one of these, which is nice. And we've already pushed everything live, so it's available. You can go play with it right now. So get out there. But Michael, I know you're super excited. I'm sure you're biting your tongue, trying not to interrupt me. So I want to let you go ahead and talk about what you really love about the box.
So appreciate that. By the way, do you guys like this box? Let us know in the chat here. Give us like a type luxury box in the chat. You have to spell luxury right. No Googling. So one thing to note real quick about the box is when John has both variants published to the product page and you click add to cart and you get the pop-up. Can you show us that real quick, John?
Yeah.
This pop-up right here, notice the price here. It says it's the Comparat's $20 and then the actual price is $10. It's a little complicated how all that is calculated. I'm going to do my best to explain it. Don't get hung up on this. I'm going to give you my best shot, but you can actually control the price of the box. It's the difference between your standard box variant when you go to create the product and your wooden box variant. So in this case, the difference I believe is $10. So the standard box is $49.95. The wooden box is $59.95. Well, when the pop-up comes up and it calculates, all it does is it takes the difference between the two is $10 and it multiplies that by 2 to create the compare app price just for the pop-up. So the pop-up will always be 50% off. That's a little bit confusing. If I would encourage you to go into the app or the platform and create a few of these and mess around with that variant pricing and go to the pop-up and kind of trigger it on yourself a few times until you get the hang of it. But just know the difference between the standard box and the luxury box, it's going to be that times 2 is going to be your compare app price in here because the discount will always be 50% off. So go play with that. It's going to be a little confusing. You'll figure that out. The thing I love the most about this box is this will increase your average order values quite significantly. And especially if you were taken off with a winning product, this thing is going to smash. And it's going to allow you to compete in ways that we previously couldn't with our lower average order values. I'm telling you, I've sold products with this box as standalone. I've been able to take this necklace here with a different message, and I sold this for $49.95 and that was in the Oreo box. With the wooden box, I got $69.95 out of it. $69.95 just by adding the wooden box, right? And that was as a standalone. As a standalone, I think this box can command an additional $20. If you publish the product with both variants, I think $10 for this box is an absolute steal as a pre-sell. When people are going to the cart page, I think your take rate on this is going to be really, really high. And if you're taking off with a winning product, you're going to make a freaking killing, guys.
Yeah.
I am super excited about this one.
Remember, the box is a $5 box. And then the big thing that, like Michael was saying with that price difference in the price of the box, try and keep that an even number. I don't make the difference $9.95 because then when you do that pop-up, you're going to get all sorts of weird numbers, jumbled in there. So I highly recommend make your standard variant and then your upsell an even number difference. $10, $15, $20. If you do $13.66, it's just going to look real wonky. So again, that's another reason to play with it and look at how it actually reacts for you, so you can see it the way a customer would and go, that doesn't look so good, or yeah, that's nice and clean. So another thing, just to let everybody know, as we've been doing with most new product launches, even though this isn't really a product launch, we will be giving away a swag bag to the first seller of a luxury box. I don't think it's going to take very long. The last product we launched, our first sale was 23 minutes later. So you want to win a swag bag, you got to react quick.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm actually going to sweeten that deal. So I'm going to give away 5 free copies of the course I'm going to give away 1 copy of the course to the first 5 people to sell one of these.
Is it 1 for each product?
The first 5 people to sell a wooden box, 5 unique people to sell a wooden box, will get a free copy of the course, the Shine On 100K course.
We'll give out 5 swag bags. Why not?
So that's, guys, come on.
Pretty
Go
nice.
after this
That's
one.
a high value prize right there.
If you already have a product that's selling well with one of these items, it's going to be very easy for you to recreate it with the wooden box variant and just go to school. This is going to make people a lot of money. And by the way, speaking of the box, we have tons of these. I highly doubt we're going to run out of these before the end of the year. So you don't have to worry about that. We've got a ton of them. So go after this thing hard.
The other thing I want to cover, I probably just explained that really fast for some of you, and so it might still be a little confusing. We've already published a knowledge base article. I'm sure Luna's probably in the chat, freaking posting it left and right. So go read that article. It breaks down how to set up the product with the different variant options and what the end result is actually going to be. That way it cleans it up and makes it nice and simple for you, and it's a really easy to follow guide. And I'll probably post a video on the whole process here tomorrow, just as another extra step to make sure everybody's understanding how to do this.
All right, so what do you guys think? Do you like this one? Let us know in the chat. Give us a 1, 2, 3 in the chat if you're liking this one. 1, 2, 3 in the chat. Guys, we've been working on this one now for probably 3 months. I don't know, something like that. So I've just been sitting on this, just waiting to release it, because the value it's going to bring, and also the differentiator it brings to the kind of print-on-demand jewelry space is very unique. I don't know anybody else offering something like this. And it's the box itself too. This is not a cheap box. I mean, it's got the little light inside and everything. It is nice really freaking cool. And yeah, it's like so John was saying the material back here is felt. And then also the
underneath is really nice as well.
The way the light it's going to be hard to see in my camera, but the light actually falls on the jewelry piece really nicely too. Like it creates a really, really neat effect. Anybody that's been wanting to experiment with video ads, now would be the time to go for it. Buy one of these boxes, get some samples of your product, and shoot some cool video in some dark settings, and you could come up with a winner really easy. So this box adds an element to this entire game. It's going to be a huge differentiator that we haven't really seen before.
Mm-hmm. So like I said, all of this is already live. So if you're not interested in what Michael has to say next, you can just leave and go create products and chase that course. But I also recommend sticking around. Maybe just listen to them in an earphone while you're creating some products here. Sorry to drive people away from your coffee right now. You announced the course giveaway. They've all left. I'm surprised if anyone's watching us anymore.
That's all right. Okay, well, that I think is going to wrap up kind of our box announcement. So that is a big one. That is going to be a huge differentiator this Q4. Again, one of the things that many of you that are already advertising know this, but some of you that are new may not. That CPMs across the board are going up right now. Just in Facebook in general, they just continually go up. But right now in particular is a little bit rough. We're in the run up to Black Friday, Cyber Monday, tons of marketing dollars are hitting Facebook, and CPMs across the board are going up. And that means that to really get in there and compete, not only do you have to have a good product and so on and so forth, but you need to have high average order values, right? Because then you can pay more to acquire a customer. And this box is your ticket for that. This box is your ticket. So this is going to be a huge differentiator for our space. So I'm super excited about this.
All right, Michael, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to let you get back to talking marketing and all that with everybody. I'll probably be watching, but I'll, sorry you guys had to see my pretty face leave, but I gotta get some work done too. Thanks, Michael.
Adios. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so the other thing, let me get John out of here. Uh-oh. There we go. So, yeah. So something else, the course, I'm going to give away 5 free copies of that, and including the swag bags, I guess. So the first 5 people, 5 unique people to sell a wooden box will get a swag bag, and then you'll also get a copy of the Shine On 100K course. Speaking of which, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that today, but the course closes tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. So if you're interested in the course, and you've been kind of thinking, maybe I'll get it, whatever, you make your decision, because tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Central Time, the course is coming down, and it will not be back until 2021. And I have had several student successes in the course so far. I don't want to call any names, but we do have one student doing 500 units a week. So the course it's been, it's helping people level up their game. So anyways, that's going to close tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. I see a question in here. What kind of wood is the box? So the box is not actually wood. It's a mahogany style luxury box is how we've decided to call it. I don't actually know the material here. I mean, it might be some kind of composite wood, maybe. I'm not really sure. It's got a good kind of, might be hard to see. It's got a nice kind of wood grain texture to it. This box, I've been handling it a lot, so you're going to have to watch out for some of the fingerprint smudges and things like that. It looks really nice when it's clean. Let me get a little polish on that. Show it to you here. There you go. It's got a real nice kind of wood grain going on to it. It's got a good weight to it too. So it feels really nice kind of in the hand. And then also when you open it up, it's got a nice kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It's got a real nice, let's see, it's got like kind of a magnet. It's got like a magnet in here that kind of snaps the lid closed, and it kind of stays closed even when it's upside down. But when you kind of open it up here, it's got a real nice kind of action to it. I don't really know what to call that. It's got a little bit of a, not really a resistance. I don't know. It's hard for me to describe. You're going to have to forgive the message card in here. You're going to notice in mine, the message card's a little floppy. This box was a prototype, and my message card is from Shine On boxes from about a year ago. So the sizing is a little off, but I did want to use it for illustration purposes. Let me pull the message card out of here. I'll leave the necklace in here just so everybody can get a real good look at it. Seems like there's a lot of interest in this box, as there should be. I mean, it's a pretty cool product. So here's kind of the, okay. Here's kind of the box. Let me get my camera to, there you go. It's a little better. There's the box, real up close with a piece of jewelry in it. You can kind of see the texture on the fabric here. It's like a felt. It's up top and it's down here in the bottom. And then you can also, let me show you the light here if I can. So this light, again, I have an early prototype of the box. The light is kind of blue, and we've got more of a, I think it's more of a white colored light on the new boxes. So the box is just, it's really, really nice, guys. It is just a really, really nice box. I'm super excited about this thing. It feels like it feels expensive. I mean, it really does. It feels like it's worth $20 easy. So it's just, getting it for 10 is going to be a steal. I think a lot of people are going to pick this up. The other thing is the images, the mock-ups we have for the box are super nice. When you get in there and you start looking around at it, there's a few different ways you can display your product. It's not all box with the message card, just kind of in the back of it. Some of them are, I'd almost have to show you. We got a really neat one that's like, it's like the box in the background, and then you have kind of your message card kind of out front, and the piece of jewelry kind of like falls over the message card. It's really, really nice. So make sure you look at the mock-ups. Our photographer, her name's Robin. She's amazing, by the way, and deserves a ton of kudos. Robin is amazing at our jewelry photography, and she spent a lot of time working with this box to really make sure that the picture she got really brought out like the value of the box, the quality of the box, that kind of thing. She's working really hard to take real dramatic shots because those just seem to kill on Facebook. So really cool and really great question there. So let me keep going through some of these questions. I see there are a lot of them. I'm way behind in the chat here. Is it available on the platform too? Yes, Facebook user. It is available on the platform too. It's available for 4 products on the platform. Let me see if I can remember them. The Cross, the Love Knot, Alluring Beauty, and one more. Cross, Love Knot, Alluring Beauty. One more that doesn't have a variant. Interlocking, I think. I think it's those 4. So yes, it is available on the platform. You can take advantage of this on the platform, just like you can with any of the other products. Let's see here. Just looking for questions. What is the name of the upsell app? Well, it is, you don't need a special app for it. It's built right into the platform. And if you use our app and you're using our product templates in your own Shopify store, it's built right into the product templates. So you don't need anything special here to use it. Let's see what else here. Jacob asked, when does the 100K course start? How much is it? The course opened on Monday. It closes tomorrow. You buy the course. It's self-paced thing. Comes with it's the course, obviously. Then you have my Facebook Live training bundle. And then we also have some private group coaching, and the recordings are available in the course. The private group coaching is closed. Anyway, that closes tomorrow night at 11:59 p.m. Go to shineon100k.com if you want to see that. Let's see here. Looks great. Yeah, thank you, Irene. This is a really cool product. It's going to be a huge opportunity for people. Let's see. Wissam, I am back, and the box is live on my product page. Let's give everybody a round of applause. I keep saying the Q4 holiday pie belongs to the Action Takers. So if you like pie, you like eating pie, specifically when that pie is filled with money, the Q4 pie belongs to the Action Takers. So go out there and get your chunk of the pie. Let's see. Lots of questions to Luna. Love having Luna here to help. Luna is amazing. Let's keep going here. I'm seeing lots of questions about the course. I don't want to spend this whole time talking about the course. That's not really the point. But if you're interested in the course, shineon100k.com. Shineon100k.com is where you can find that. All right, let's keep going here. Let's see. Great podcast style. Love it. Focusing on the critical points. Question: how does integration with Amazon work? Do you use the Shopify app to create the product and then list it on Amazon? Is there someone in China I can speak to on this? That's probably a question for support. I don't know. I want to get into all of that here. That's a great question, though. And sorry, I can't provide you a better answer at the moment. What about the products already loaded in the Shopify store? I believe this might be, Luna may have provided a little better answer to this. I believe you're going to have to, if you want to add the wood box, I think you're going to have to recreate the product here. Let me see. Does Luna answer that? Oh, wait a minute. No, I think you can actually just go to your existing product and add a variant. Somebody asked, I lost the question. Somebody asked about the cost of the box. And the box is $6. $6 for this. $6. And I think you can get 20 out of it. So you're looking at, $14 profit just by having the box. If you run it as standalone in the pop-up, you can get it for an additional $4. By the way, $4 may not sound like a lot. That is that's a ton when it comes to your competition on Facebook, selling at volume, trying to keep your average order values up. A few dollars makes a huge difference. I mean, just imagine when you're trying to keep your cost per purchase under whatever your break even point is, $36 or whatever. Imagine if you had $4 extra to play with. It makes a huge difference. April says, I'm brand new. I need help. Well, you're in the right place. I do these. I try to do these at least once a week. I answer questions. Sometimes we do deep dives on various subjects, marketing, that kind of thing. Our YouTube channel is full of videos now. In the Facebook group here, you can search my name in the sidebar. You can find all kinds of stuff. You're in the right place if you want to learn. We've got all kinds of good free material for you to get on your feet. Also, we just launched Shine On You. You definitely need to check out Shine On You if you have not. Luna, can you put, if you're still watching, Luna, Sophia, somebody, can you paste a link to Shine On You in the chat here? Shine On You is kind of it's like a Shine On boot camp. It's free. It's Teachable. John, who was with us a little earlier, went through, he made a bunch of videos to help people really get started, kind of learn the basics, your basic blocking and tackling of Shine On. He put all that together for you in this kind of free mini course called Shine On You. So Sophia or Luna will post that in the chat. Make sure you click that and sign up for that. Again, it's free. There's a bunch of material there to kind of help you get started. Let's keep going here. I am so far behind on these. How do you manage this stuff? Will you be answering questions we post on Facebook? Yes, Debbie. Great question. I am about to do that. I'm just trying to get through any questions about the box. Let's see any more. I am getting caught up here. Any more questions about the box here? Does the box change the shipping price? Answer is no. The box does not change the shipping price. Okay. Can we have the box as an upsell on its own in the app? I'm not sure I understand the question. If you mean like making it a pop-up, kind of like we just demonstrated, the answer is yes. Hope that answers the question. Okay. I think I'm going to jump over to, I'm still going to be watching the chat, so you can still talk to me. I'm just going to jump kind of over to my Facebook post. We had lots of questions there this morning. I'm going to start going through some of those. Any last questions about the box? If you have any final questions about the box, now is a great time to ask before I start getting into all of the Facebook questions that people have left for us today. Any final questions about the box? Now is a great time to ask. I'm not seeing any. There's a little bit of a delay here, so I'm just trying to give everybody time. We're going to start getting through all the questions you left me in Facebook. So if you are in Facebook, where you're watching this video, more than likely, you're going to see a bunch of comments underneath. I'm going to go through there and answer questions. So that's where I'm getting the content here. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Luna, I think, can handle most of the questions coming through right now. I don't know that I am needed for those. All right, so here we go. Hi, Michael. I'm struggling with the Facebook ads audiences. If, for example, I were to target sisters, how do I split them to several audiences to test? And how narrow should it be? So you're targeting sisters. How do I split them to several audiences? Well, sisters might be a tough one because I don't know that you can, you can target females, obviously. And if the female is not the only sibling in the family, child in the family, there'll be a sister to somebody. That's probably the best way I'd like target sisters. When it comes to splitting them into audiences, there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. I always try to tell people it's a little difficult concept to explain. I haven't quite gotten the, found a great way to explain this yet. But you want to create your ads in such a way that when the data comes back, it tells you something about who you should be targeting, right? So one of the things I like to do in the example I like to give is let's pretend for a minute that you've got a big group of guys, for example, and interested in a product, and you're trying to figure out, like, is it lower class guys, like lower middle class, upper middle class? Is it upper class people? You're trying to figure out which kind of segment of guy is most interested in your product. Well, what I would do is obviously you're going to target males, and you're going to target males within a age range that's appropriate for your product. But then when you're choosing your interest, you're going to want to choose interests related to each of those different segments. And you're going to want to put them in different ad sets. So for example, if I wanted to target, and I'm throwing darts here, guys, don't beat me up if I don't articulate this perfectly. But if you want to target lower class individuals, for example, maybe you would go after like your discount stores, your Dollar Generals, your Big Lots, your Aldi's, your maybe some fast food restaurants, things like that. And then as you work your way up kind of through the classes, you just keep raising those interests, right? So maybe your upper class people are like folks that shop at Gucci and Porsche, and I don't know, I'm making that up. But anyway, you can imagine like how you'd split up that demographic based on their class. And then what's helpful about thinking this way is that then when the ad data comes back to you, it tells you something about your buyer. So if the all the Dollar General, ad sets did really well, that tells you that your buyer is probably more in kind of that age bracket or that income bracket. And then it gives you a much better idea for how you can expand from there and target other audiences. So I'm not saying do that for sisters. I'm just saying use that concept for sisters. However you decide to break it up, you want your data when it comes back through Ads Manager to tell you something about your ideal buyer. So that's probably how I'd try to think about that. How narrow should it be? Kind of depends on your pixel. If your pixel's brand new, I definitely wouldn't go any smaller than 500,000. And, upper limit, if you're really trying to put training wheels on your pixel and you're really trying to kind of put the bumper lanes in there, maybe upper limit of 2 million, but that can be a very difficult number to hit, believe it or not. So 5 million might be a little bit more appropriate for a new pixel. If your pixel already has a good amount of data, I don't know that the audience size is that important. But great question, Matel. I hope I said your name right. Great question, Matel. Okay, let's go to Budi. B-U-D-I. Hi, Michael. In testing phases, if I have 5 different background card designs with the same phrases, so 5 designs with the same phrases, what would you suggest? Better to run 1-1-3 campaign with dynamic creative ads, or run all in a separate campaign, 5-1-1? Well, so look, first of all, I think you should be testing more phrases than designs. I'd much rather see you create one design template and then run 10 different phrases, then create one phrase and then run 5 different design templates. It's the phrase that pays. If they cry, they'll buy. It's the phrase that makes people buy your product. So when it comes to the actual testing, I like to do 1 campaign per product. So I would be more inclined to say do the 5-1-1, right? 5 campaigns with 1 ad set with 1 ad. That's probably how I would do it. Let's keep going here. Great question, though. Saeed asks, what are your thoughts of using a URL shortener for the product link that's in Facebook? I'm thinking about getting a domain that can do a redirect to the product link on ShineOn. I would probably not do that. I think Facebook is super finicky these days. They freak out over the tiniest little things, and doing URL redirects, like even a Bitly link, is just one more kind of thing that might set them off. I would try to avoid that if at all possible. Plus, I actually, I kind of think that people trust. I actually read an article about this some time ago. I think people trust the link more when they see the entire thing. So I wouldn't just assume that length implies quality there. But great question. All right, Matt. I wish there was a way I could make all this appear for you guys. Sharing my screen is not going to be a good option. So Matt asks, tips on using more advanced scaling methods, manual bidding, and how when to tighten rules to improve profitability on a product pixel with a decent amount of data, 500 purchases. So tips on using more advanced scaling methods and manual bidding, and how when to tighten rules to improve profitability. So first of all, when it comes to tips to scaling your big campaigns, one of the things I always say is like once you have a phrase that's kind of indicating that it's a winner and it's profitable and you're getting sales, that's kind of just the start of it. That's when you kind of have to switch gears a little bit and put on your marketing hat. Now's really the time to dial in that campaign. You need to do it at different levels. So I would probably start at the bottom of the funnel maybe and work your way backwards. And it kind of depends on what your ad data is telling you. You may have a different kind of weak point in there. So for example, if your CPMs are really high and your click-through rates have gone down, then maybe what you need to focus on first is improving the click-through rate, that kind of thing. But as a general rule of thumb, I like to start at the bottom of the funnel, work my way backwards. So for you, that would likely mean starting on your product page, making sure your copy is good, making sure your images are all good, making sure your title is clear, making sure you're at a good competitive price point. Think through AIDA, the AIDA formula I've shared about copywriting, so you want to write it so you get attention, interest, desire, action. That's the AIDA acronym there. Make sure your copy all makes sense. Make sure it's clear. If you have any offers, make sure you lead with offers on your product page. You can test with the discounts feature on the platform, that kind of thing. So, get your product looking good. The next step up in the funnel, if you're on the platform, is going to be getting your ads optimized. The first thing you want to do to optimize your ads is start with the image. That's where you get the biggest bang for your buck and increasing your click-through rates. User-generated content style images, in my experience, have always done the best. So what you can do, you can order a sample of your product and you can take pictures of it literally with your cell phone. You don't have to run it through any production or anything like that. And you can use that in an ad. And believe it or not, that works really well. You can put it on a table. You can hold it in your hand. You can take the photo outside. There's a million ways you can just take the photo. Go outside, put it in your car. It's seriously, the user-generated content style ads don't have to be anything special. So I'd recommend do that. Start with the image. And what you can do is you can test like 5 different images against each other to see which one performs the best. You can do that in a dynamic ad, or you can do that with 5 different ad sets. You can set up rules so that you run your ad sets to a certain number of impressions and then turn the ad sets off and then evaluate your winners. There's a bunch of different ways you can do that to dial in that image. But the big takeaway here is just test 5 different images against each other, find your winner, right? Then what you do is you want to test 5 different ad copies against each other. Try the short, medium, long ones with emojis, without emojis, leading with an offer, leading with the phrase, all that kind of stuff. Test 5 different ad copies, then test your different headlines. And then, hopefully if all those kind of stars align, you'll have a pretty good campaign. One more kind of vector to test there, if you have a winning phrase, is test the phrase on 5 different designs. That's one more kind of variable that you can test if you've dialed into a winning phrase. So anyway, hope that helps answer your question, Matt. Good question. Wisdom here guessed that this was an update on the Mahogany box. So good for you, Wissam. Give yourself a pat on the back. Maladen here asks, hello, Michael. When we set up the like campaign, can we use pictures and memes we pulled from Pinterest ads as creatives instead of Facebook stock photos, or maybe combine them? And what is your opinion on buying Facebook accounts and business managers for advertising? Personal profiles restricted from advertising, but I actually bought a profile with advertising access and business manager so I can run ads from there. Okay, so first the question about the photos. Yeah, I think you can probably use any photos you want. Just, avoid copyright and all that kind of stuff. By all means, if the photo gets you cheaper likes, I don't see any reason you wouldn't do it. Regarding buying accounts, this is not something that I feel super comfortable sharing in an open public forum like this. People take action based on what I say here, so I have kind of a responsibility to make sure that I'm advising people in a good, solid direction. So I'm not sure I can speak to that too much. The best thing to do is say be cautious, and you're doing that at your own risk. So just make sure you understand all the risks that come with doing some of that kind of stuff. I don't know what all those risks would be. Getting ripped off might be one of them. Getting another account shut down, getting your IP completely blocked. Who knows? Losing your actual Facebook personal account, like entirely. Who knows? There's probably a number of risks there. So just make sure you understand all the risks of doing something like that, and then do whatever you think is best. I'm going to be careful about advising you. Richard Smith asks, what is your view on CBO versus ABO for testing, and why choose one over the other? Started a CBO today and seeing if I can make a difference to results. Any chance you would show one of your campaigns and the stats and explain why is a loser, keeper, winner, and how you would scale it? Of course, not mentioning the product or design. So when it comes to CBO and ABO, I personally like testing with ABO. You get faster spend. You almost get like discounted spending out of the gate, and your products see Facebook's best segment of audience. And you know that because it's very common for your first purchases to come in as soon as you start spending out of the gate, and then you won't get any more purchases. I mean, it's kind of clear what Facebook is doing there. I like ABO. The other thing about ABO that's interesting to me is it seems like you get, like, even if you're all 5, like let's say you have a campaign with 5 ad sets and all the ad sets target the same interest, it seems like you get different samples from that audience in each of those ad sets. They're not all going to the same people. So even within those ad sets, you'll get one ad set that kind of catches fire when the rest don't. And it's an indicator that there's buyers in the audience still. So I don't know. It's tough. I prefer ABO. I'm not sure why. Now, that said, CBO is probably the direction Facebook is going long term. I think they want more people using the CBO product. And I do have a feeling that eventually your results from CBO are going to outweigh the results from ABO, and there's going to be kind of a migration over to it. I do have some CBO testing methods that I use occasionally. However, I just find myself out of habit going towards my ABO methods. Now, scaling is interesting because they have done a lot to improve scaling with CBOs and performance there. It's a little bit tricky, but CBO can work to scale once your pixel gets all dialed in. So anyway, I know that probably wasn't super helpful. Those are my current thoughts on it, though. As far as showing you a campaign, I can't do that live on the stream. I just have way too much going on inside of my ads managers. And there's probably no way for me to do it without giving away things, and I'm not sure I want my pixel IDs and all that kind of stuff out in the world. So that might be something I do eventually, but I'd have to kind of plan and stage it, if that makes sense. Okay, great question though. Christy asks, what's your recommendation for building Facebook pages and ad accounts for subcategories niches? For instance, you may have a wives are great page, but if you were selling items for firefighter wives, would you advertise those under your wives page, build out a separate one for firefighter wives? Does it mess up the pixel to sell them under a general wives page? No, your pixel generally is not going to be impacted by what page you sell under. Your pixel is going to be impacted by the purchases that you get. That's why I recommend segmenting your pixels by niche, because, so for instance, a simple difference, if you're running a dad to daughter versus a mom to daughter gift, your pixel is going to learn, hey, anybody that has a daughter, I'm going to show these products. However, if your pixel was segmented so that you only showed mom to daughter products on one pixel, that pixel would learn, I'm only going to show this to moms that have daughters, right? So there's kind of a difference there. That's how the pixel optimizes. Now, when it comes to the page, I would probably stay very high level on the pages. So something has come up recently. I don't have details I can really share. I can just tell you I've heard from Facebook that because account quality scores have become important, and if your account quality score, your customer feedback score dips below a certain point, they shut down your ad account and things. They become more sensitive to people running ads from multiple pages and diluting or watering down poor customer feedback scores, basically spreading out poor customer feedback across multiple pages. That's made Facebook suspicious of anytime you have multiple pages that don't seem to be different in terms of business and things like that. So I don't know yet for certain, but I'm leaning towards having fewer Facebook pages as opposed to more. So I'd almost rather see you have one wives page and then run all your wives stuff and all your sub niches all under the one wives page, versus having a wives page and a firefighter wives page and a police wives page and whatever else. Hope that makes sense. Great question, by the way. All right, Eliza, how is the best strategy to start day parting campaign after we get the trend in our data? So day parting. I believe I haven't done day parting in a while. I believe you can still schedule. I believe you can still schedule delivery on your ads. I think you have to use lifetime budgets to do it. So at the ad set level, choose lifetime, and then I'm pretty sure you can set a delivery schedule in there. I don't know. I'm going to be able to check this right now. I'm going to try real quick. Yeah, so you can still set lifetime budgets, and I'm pretty sure the delivery options are underneath lifetime. And at any rate, what you can do is so go into Ads Manager, get breakdowns on when your purchases are coming through, and then just create a lifetime budget and set day part accordingly. I've actually done this before when scaling, where I've created lifetime budgets and I did the day parting, figured out when my purchases were happening. I created ad sets with huge budgets, but they were lifetime budgets. I'd let them run for like 4 or 5 days, and they'd only deliver during peak times of purchases. I've done that before, and it's worked. One of the things I really liked about it back when I was using it was most of the time when you start a new ad and you set it to start delivery at like 8 a.m. or whatever, it kind of feels like it takes about an hour to actually start delivering. With these lifetime budgets, though, it was like as soon as it was on, it was rocking and rolling. So, okay, great question. Reshma asks, is it okay if I use the same Facebook pixel for Shine On platform and my Shopify store for? Is it okay if I use the same Facebook pixel for Shine On platform and my Shopify store for Shine On products? Yes, I do this all the time, actually, all the time. So, good question. All right, I'm going to pause here. I'm going to go back to our chat now. So I'm back over here in our StreamYard chat. So let's go through some questions over here, and I'll just kind of pop back and forth, I think. I want to keep everybody's watching live. I want you to get some priority here. So let's see. Megan asks, in regards to ads, when you choose your audience, say you've chosen your demographic, then males age 30, 65, and dollar store as an interest, can you choose a second interest? Does this cost more in regards to your ad, or is choosing two interests too broad? Well, you can. So first of all, I want to just say you don't have to choose dollar store. I'm assuming you were just using that as an example. I'm just using it as an example. I'm just saying that when you're targeting with a general product, right, like husband to wives, for example, and not firefighter wives, when you have a general product and you're trying to find pockets of buyers, it helps sometimes to think about structuring your ad sets in such a way that when the data comes back in those ad sets, it tells you something about your ideal buyer. It may not always be possible to do that, but I do recommend trying to think about that when you're doing your segmentation. Now you ask, can you choose a secondary interest? Yeah, there's two ways to do that. You can either add an interest in, you can just stack them on top of each other, in which case the audience sizes will be combined, or you can narrow by and then add additional interest, and that will actually narrow the interest. So there's two different ways you can do it. You can do it however you want. And then you ask how that affects ad costs. Well, that's a little tough to answer. Generally speaking, the smaller your audience, the more expensive your CPMs are going to be. But also it depends on the audience itself, because Facebook knows that like women 35 plus, for example, 40 plus tend to have more disposable income than others. And then their CPMs are a little higher there too. There's a lot of factors that go into determining ad costs, but great question. All right. Michael asks, how do you test different prices? How much do you test different prices? Well, I almost always go with Shine On standard recommended prices. And then if I have a winner, I'll slowly kind of raise the price and just see if my conversions drop to the point that it doesn't make sense anymore. That's typically what I do there. I don't usually test prices unless I have a winner. Hope that helps. Facebook user, I'm a newbie on the platform. Where can we find pre-made holiday-style greeting cards in the knowledge base? Should we focus on holiday-style greeting cards as we get closer to the holidays, or your preferred textiles, and what are your preferred textiles and font sizes? So, first of all, I do know we have a bunch of pre-made stuff. Most of it, I think, is linked actually inside of the product creation pages on the platform of the app. You can also get your own designs made from the Shine On Designs group. So search that on Facebook. There's like 30,000 people in there. There's a ton of designers. There's lots of good stuff there. If you just want to buy one, should we focus on holiday style greeting cards as we get closer to the holidays? Look, I would have said no a month ago. However, I've seen some data recently that seems to indicate you can do this. I've had some products that I've created that I just did not think were going to do well, but I tested anyway. And they were kind of this holiday theme thing where you're using the red and the green and kind of the blue of Christmas. And it had some Christmassy elements, and it freaking worked. In fact, I think I had a Christmas tree on it in one of them. So really surprised to see that work. So I don't think you should be afraid of testing it. The only thing I would say is, keep in mind if you tie your design and all that into Christmas, and then Christmas comes and goes, and Valentine's Day is next, your product may just die on the vine, right? I kind of like to try to find products that will be a little bit more evergreen that I can sell for a number of different holidays. So just keep that in mind. And then you asked me about preferred text styles and font sizes. Look, I don't give that kind of advice. All I can say is that legibility is extremely important. So you want your fonts to be large enough that they're legible. So hope that helps. All right, Facebook user asked for the Shine On 100K link. Just go to shineon100k.com, shineon100k.com. All right, and there doesn't seem any spec info in the box in the standard listing when creating an item on the platform. Well, we may have to add that. If you don't see it, we may have to add it. There's a lot going on that went into making this available on the platform. So I'm sure somebody on our team here is working on that. Is there only one image of the box? No, there's a bunch, Sharon. When you go in and look at mockups, when you go to create a product, there's a ton of them. So, poke around in there. You're going to find them. They're really, really cool too. And like I said, you have a bunch of different options to sell. Like one of my favorites, it's got like the box in the background. It's got the message card kind of out front with the necklace hanging over the message card. It's really neat. I really like that one. Can we spend some of the live discussing best practice for dealing with Facebook support with all these restriction brands? Yeah, so I've actually been thinking about this a lot in the last 2 weeks because I'm trying to write a guide on this. So first things first, highly recommend everybody spend some time looking at the Facebook ad policies. You need to go through those. You probably need to read them top to bottom and just be aware of what those are. Second thing to do, and this is like kind of bonus or extra credit, I suppose, is try to become Facebook Blueprint certified. Facebook offers, it's basically like a free course. They have a bunch of material and training about how to use their platform. It is detailed. It's not hard. It's detailed, and they tell you how the platform works kind of in theory, but not in reality, in my opinion. And they also tell you how they want you to use the platform. It's probably a better way to put that. But I think if you take that, you get the certification. There's rumor on the street that having the Facebook Blueprint certification will kind of give you a little bit of protection against getting banned. I don't know if that's true. It's just what I've heard. When it comes to actually getting something banned and you're going to appeal it, my best advice is just be honest, be polite, be respectful. Thank them for their time, that kind of thing. If you know you did something wrong, just fall on your sword and take it. Just say, hey, I ran an ad like this. It got rejected. I went and looked at the policy. Now I realize I was in violation of XYZ. I'm not going to let that happen again. Apologize. Can you please reinstate my account? Something like that. That will work most of the time. Keep in mind that Facebook, like I bet if you did a survey and you asked, how many people had been banned and gotten their accounts back versus how many people have been banned and lost their accounts forever, the large majority of people, the overwhelming majority of people get their accounts back. And that tells you that Facebook's AI is like, it just takes action and it asks for forgiveness later. And it's wrong very, very often. That's what I think that tells you about Facebook's AI, is that it's wrong all the time. So, I hope that helps. I know that probably wasn't super helpful. Now, I will say this. You definitely need redundancies on all your stuff. You constantly need to be thinking about redundancies. If you have a business manager with a bunch of ad accounts, make sure you have a wife, a friend, a brother, a father, mother, somebody else on your ad account, just in case something should happen. You still have an admin on your business manager. And you're not totally dead in the water. So make sure you have that. I'd make sure you have a credit card and PayPal in case one of your payment methods gets jacked up. You need to be thinking in terms of redundancy and resiliency. Should the worst happen? Should you lose your ability to advertise? Should an ad account go down? Should you lose your business manager? Should a payment method be rejected? You need to be thinking in terms of redundancies. Try to have 2 of everything in business, 2 of everything at a minimum. And you know what? With Facebook, it's probably not a bad idea to have 3 if you can swing it. I mean, Facebook used to be a place where it's fairly easy to advertise, and it's just become a bloodbath. And I know most of you know this, especially the last week. It seems like they did something else in the AI, and boom, tons of people got hit. So hope that helps. That's probably the best advice I've got at the moment. Just amazing, Mauricio. Congrats. So what happened with Mauricio? And the first mahogany box goes to UK. Did you sell the first one already? Did Mauricio sell a mahogany box? I think Mauricio sold the first box. If you did, and you're still watching, tell us he did. He's kudos to you, man. Yes. I love to see that. Good job taking action, dude. I wish we could all stand up and give you a round of applause. If we were like in a big auditorium, I'd totally embarrass you. I'd make you stand up. Everybody give you a round of applause. We'd throw toilet paper at you and confetti, and we'd pop things at you. It'd be really cool. That's awesome, man. Good for you. Kudos to you. The fourth quarter holiday pie belongs to the action takers. I'm telling you. So great work. We're going to have to actually check the data to make sure that you were the first one. I'd be shocked if you weren't, though. I mean, that was really freaking quick. So good work, buddy. Good freaking work. I'm super happy to see that. I'd love for you to tell us the testing method you used, if you don't mind sharing it or something like that in the chat here. I bet a lot of people would love that. So good work, buddy. Facebook user, thanks for the videos you do, man. Really helpful. Just want to say that. We'll catch replay later. Thank you, Facebook user. Anything for Facebook user. Let's see. Peggy, your sharing support is invaluable. Michael and Luna, thank you, Peggy. Really appreciate that. Glad that it's helpful. Let's see. Hi, Michael. Hi, Nick. Hey, are you using your IM algorithm method for scaling right now? Dude, I use it every time I scale. I love the freaking method. It's amazing. Well, I think it's amazing. I'm a little bit biased on it. It's something I've been using since 2017. It seems to be impervious to algorithm changes. So yeah, I like it a lot. The one thing I would say though is I've had several people kind of reach out to me because they're trying to use the method and they're not really being super profitable. And the one piece of advice, it's been kind of common with everybody I've talked to is you got to really run tight rules. So here's what I mean by that. Someone might run one campaign with 10 ad sets, each ad set at $100, and then their breakpoints are like they cut off view contents at $2, add to carts at 15, purchases at 25, for example. And they go, well, I'm not profitable, and it's like, well, of course that's not profitable because your breakpoints are way too high. You're allowing way too much spin to accrue on the losing ad sets before you turn them off. I would almost rather see you run, and I'm not kidding about this, like 50 $100 ad sets and then be super aggressive and tight in how you turn them off. Like really, really be aggressive and tight and turn those off. And hopefully at the end of the day, you'll have 4 or 5 kind of winners that just keep on going all day and producing profit for you. That's kind of how I would approach that. Nick says, I'd like to see you make a card. I have in some other videos. Go crawling through our YouTube channel. You'll probably find it. I do also make message cards in the course. If you're interested in that, Shine on 100K, closes tomorrow 11:59 p.m. Okay, after the 3-day initial testing period, if some ad sets have after the 3-day initial testing period, if some ad sets have purchases, do we run the ads to them on weekends or wait till the following Tuesday? It kind of depends. If it's feeling hot, I'll just keep it going, especially right now, this time of year, because there's so much buyer activity. But if you're new and you're not super experienced and you don't know what a winning product looks like and things like that, I'd probably just wait till the following Tuesday, because it's just the odds are more in your favor Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for testing. So if you're new and all that, I'd definitely probably wait. Richard asks, do you run your ads from a page post or do you use dark posts? I run them from the standard ad product inside of Facebook. I actually create the ad right in Ads Manager. I have used dark posts in the past. They've worked well. I don't know what it is. It's kind of an extra step. And when I'm testing at high volume, I decide to move to your standard kind of Facebook ad product with a button. One thing I will say real quick is that it seems to me that people are more apt to share the dark posts when they don't have the buttons. Could be wrong about that. It's just something that kind of stood out to me. Someone's asking about free shipping, but I'm not going to be able to get into that here. I know it's in the works, guys. I just don't know timeline and things like that. Any ways to get sales without spending money? Well, that's tough. Probably. First of all, post your products. Facebook we do retargeting to the products, but it's, the chance of your item showing up in our retargeting ads, if you've never run any traffic to it, are pretty slim. But that's one thing you could do. You could post Facebook or ads or not ads. You could post like images on Pinterest. You could find influencers and see if they'll send influencers the product, see if they'll kind of feature the product on their page. Maybe YouTube influencers, if there are any of those and they fit your niche. How else could we do it? Probably a bunch of things. You probably post it in certain Facebook groups. All of it's going to require action and be borderline spammy. Some of the tactics anyway. So it can be done, but it's easier to just do paid acquisition. Michael, give us some best practices for dealing with Facebook restrictions, account bans, not POX, Facebook. I think I already answered this. So I'm going to keep going. So Lindy asks, you've recommended to start with 2 niches. Do we need to have 2 ad accounts for 2 niches to be able to have 2 pixels and have both go to one Shopify store as well as to shine on? Or is an ad account 1 pixel? Okay. I would, if you have 2 different pixels, 2 different niches, I would recommend 2 different ad accounts, 2 different pixels. You can use them to send traffic to both Shopify store and Shine On. I do this literally every day. I've not had any problems. Okay. I have the new box as a variant within Shopify. However, I didn't get a pop-up for the upsell, even though it came to the checkout screen. This is probably more of a question for support or Luna. I double check to make sure you're using the Shine On product template. The pop-up is only going to work on our template. When you get a CBO test performing really well with a good ROAS for multiple days and 10 plus purchases and you duplicate it, do you duplicate and let the duplicates run immediately or schedule them for 6 a.m. the next day? Well, I would probably schedule them for the next day. I pretty much schedule all my ads out. I never start anything in the middle of the day. It always starts the next day. Sometimes like for CBO, I will be more apt to start those at 12:01 a.m. versus 5 a.m. because CBOs don't do accelerated spending out of the gate. It's just weird. I don't get it. The pacing of an ABO versus CBO is a little different. So you can start your CBOs at 12:01 a.m. Sometimes I still start my CBOs at 5 a.m. because that first rush of buyers is right there around 5 a.m. and I want to make sure the pixel optimizes towards it. So there's kind of two different ways you can tackle that. Check something here. One sec, guys. All right, let's keep going. It's 15 minutes. We're probably going to wrap this up in about 15 minutes. We've been going for an hour and 15 today. When was your Christmas cutoff last year for international? Oh, shoot. I don't know. Last year? In the Facebook group, if you go searching for like cutoff date or something like that, you'll find the post. I believe Luna made the post last year. Don't ask me how I remember that. I launched 8 campaigns yesterday, got 1 sale on 5 of them. Good for you, buddy. How do you follow through with this? Well, Ricky, I'd stay in your testing method. I'd just kind of keep doing the testing, but don't change anything yet. Stay there and try to get any one of those to 10 sales profitably. That's when you can start pushing on the gas pedal a little bit and raising your budgets, trying some different methods, broadening your interests, that kind of thing. So that's probably what I would do as far as that goes. I do recognize you. You're in our course. So also in our private group coaching call next week, let's talk about your campaign. If you're willing to do it in front of the group, let's talk about your campaign and we'll see what we can do to get that on track. Some Christmas items go after Christmas, especially people meeting after Christmas and or slow shipping. Not sure I understand what. It's more of a comment than a question, I guess. Irene, is there a straight on overhead shot of the box? Probably. I'm not sure off the top of my head. You're gonna have to look through the mock-up images that are available when you go to create the product. We have more images coming, by the way. Skylar. All right, just launched 2 campaigns with new gift box variant. Whew, good work, buddy. Love the action. I love seeing posts like this. I really do. So many people just like they're just stuck in analysis paralysis, or they want things to be perfect and that kind of thing. And like that is just holding you back. You've got to take imperfect action. You have to. This truly is the case where done is better than perfect. You need forward movement, you know? So anyway, like the wind guides the sailing ship. You know what I'm saying? Like get out there, get moving, and take some action. So good work, Skylar. Love that. You'd be another individual. I'd totally embarrass you. If you're in a big audience right now, you'd stand up and we'd all clap and cheer and woo, and the lights would come and be awesome. All right. Hey, is this helpful for everybody? I've been rambling for a while here. Give me some love here in the chat. Give me a big old yes if this is helpful, if you're enjoying this, if you're following along, paying attention, if this is adding value. Give me a big old yes in the chat. Yes in the chat if this is helpful in any way, shape, or form. Give me a yes in the chat. Let's go to the next one. Why the yeses roll in. Mauricio, gonna need to watch the replay. Too much going on. Haha. I'm gonna need to redo all the products offered luxury box. Talk about cleaning the house. I think you can add luxury box to your existing products. I think that's what Luna was saying earlier. You just have to go add the variant. So make sure you do that before you go recreating all the products. JT, can we get a link to Facebook certification, please? Just Google Facebook Blueprint certification or something like that. You'll find it. Okay, getting some yeses here. Appreciate that. It's good to hear from you guys because I get on rambling here and, you know, I can't see your faces. I don't know if you're listening or anything. So appreciate that. Lots of yeses here. Okay, great. Thank you. Got a lot of people engaged, tuned in here. All right, good. Thank you. I enjoy seeing that. All right, I'm going to go back up to some of these questions. We'll keep kind of making our way down here. We're going to wrap this up in about 10 minutes. Megan, say you have did I answer this already? Say you have an example. Say, for example, you have a daughter's page and they're therefore targeting moms for mom to daughter products and dads for dad to daughter gifts. Will you suggest having 2 pixels for that? Yeah, I think I would. I think it'll help your pixel optimize if you have 2. Michael's going after that wooden box. You guys, there's a lot of competition right now for these first 5 boxes. Let's make it happen. What's the IM algorithm method? It's a scaling method that I teach. It's I kind of have to illustrate it for it to totally make sense. But it uses like one campaign, like it uses lots of ad sets. You start with one campaign, you can have more than one campaign, but lots of ad sets, like 30 to 50 ad sets per campaign, very high budgets on the ad sets, and then you very aggressively cull your losing ad sets. And it's specifically good for scaling. Call it IM algorithm because you basically take all the power away from the algorithm and you do kind of your own optimization on it. New to Facebook ads, and I don't know how to make one. What do you recommend for a beginner with a budget $200-300? What look, I think that's a great question. Well-meaning. I think if I were you, I'd take Shine on You, go through all that to make sure you understand our platform. Then I'd go watch every video I put on YouTube. And I try to do all of this before the end of this weekend and then come in Monday or Tuesday and run some ads. And yes, that probably means no Netflix, no video games, no lounging around the house this weekend. It means you're going to get into this stuff. You're going to get up to your eyeballs. You're going to take a ton of action so you can change your life, right? You take extraordinary action and you'll see extraordinary changes. That's kind of how I view this. So get after it, buddy. Be hungry and get after it. So that's what I recommend. No testing method. No testing method. It was a personalized, customized order from today's morning. I was figuring out how to use the artwork swapper when I noticed the box on a new product. When you guys explained how you were doing that, all I did was reach out, ask customer if she wanted me to include it for a few extra bucks. I'll let you know. I'll let you into my course. Okay. So it comes out. It wasn't, first of all, it's super clever. Look, there are probably many people right now that are rolling their eyes a little bit and saying, well, you cheated or whatever. But I got to tell you something right now as a marketer, that is super freaking clever. Super freaking clever what he just did. He reached out to somebody that already bought, asked them if they wanted to upgrade, and he just made more money because of it. So I would actually, if we were on a big auditorium, you would be getting embarrassed a second time here for that, because I think that's super clever and you deserve every bit of that extra purchase. So great freaking work. Great freaking work. I am glad you told us though, because I was kind of like, how on earth do you get an ad up that quick? I can't get Facebook to deliver my ads within 2 hours of posting. How did you get it inside of 10 minutes or whatever? So good work on that. And thanks for telling us and being honest, man. I got your back on that one. That's super clever. Very, very, very smart, man. Love that. Yeah, run ads from a post on your niche page. No, not really. It was a long time ago last time I did that. So no, the answer to that's no. Using the IM algorithm method, are you scaling your budgets on the surviving winning ad sets as you're killing off your losers? So great question. It depends on the product, how hot it is, how much buyer activity is in the market. I have done it before, but it kind of rocks the optimization on the ad set for a little bit. If you have a really hot product, you can do that. Last year, during this time when there was all this buyer activity in the marketplace, I increased. My ad sets would start at like $500 a day. By the end of the day, my winners would be at like $5 or $6 or $7 grand for the day. Like I just keep bumping them up. Now, every time I bumped it, I used the ad set title as a log. So I would capture the time of day when I bumped it and what the ROAS was and what I bumped the budget to. And then I'd look at it again like an hour or two later, and I'd see if the ROAS dipped or increased or whatever. And it allowed me to kind of keep track of whether or not that change helped or hurt the ad set. So you need to be thinking kind of about that when you go doing it, how you track it. And that, by the way, was a freaking ninja trick that I just shared. So write that down. All right. How about adding dog paws as a necklace? We've tested some products like that. They haven't really held their own in our testing. That's not to say we don't have something coming though. So stay tuned. I've sold a box. No way. Did you really? Did Matt sell a box? Dude. Good for you, buddy. You rock, man. I love that. So Matt, I know Matt. I know Matt's face. I know his voice. He's been all my lives. He's done challenges with me before. This guy is a freaking action taker. If you see this guy talking in the group, I'd perk up and listen to him because he's got experience and he's been with this game for a long time. He's grinding at this. So good freaking work, dude. If you sold a box, man, You deserve it. I'd love to know how you did it, either testing methods or if you were clever like Mauricio here and started, hitting the street and hustling. Great work though, man. I love to see that. Richard says, nice one. Great work, buddy. All right, Michael Holland, what's usually the issue if your ad is getting a solid click-through rate but no purchases? Well, you probably need to look at the whole funnel. If your click-through rate's good, that means the ad itself is inspiring interest. Now, are they clicking on just the ad image, or is it a link click-through rate? Like they're actually coming to your product page. That's something you want to figure out. If the click-through rate's just high and it's not link click-through rates, it could just be because they can't read what your product says and they're curious. So they click it, they read it, then decide they're not interested and they bounce. If they're landing on the product page and you're not getting a lot of added carts, there's something maybe wrong with the product page. It could be the price, could be something in the ad copy, could be there's a lack of congruency between the ad image and the product image. You're going to need to kind of go in and try to troubleshoot some of that. If you are getting add to carts and then they're bouncing, there's probably something further down the funnel. Maybe they don't like shipping costs. Maybe you don't ship to their area. If you're using the platform, it's probably related to shipping costs. Not sure what else it would be platform-wise. So I hope that kind of answers the question. Again, that's a little bit of a tough one to answer without seeing your data and being able to kind of step through the funnel with you. How do we get into the private group coaching call? Well, so unfortunately, we can't anymore. I offered the private group coaching as a fast action bonus the first time I released the course. So I've got a group of people now that get private coaching with me once a week. We're going to do it once a week all the way through Valentine's Day. However, the fast action bonuses are gone now for the Shine On 100K course too. So yeah, unfortunately, the private group coaching calls are going to be unavailable. They were to my fast action takers that took the course. However, I'll release the course again next year. I don't know if the price will be the same or not. Price might increase, but I'll have other fast action bonuses at that time, and maybe I'll do additional private group coaching. Let's see. I joined the 100K course yesterday. Where's the live call group? So when you go into Teachable and you log into your account, you're going to see you should see two courses. You should see Shine On 100K. Then you should also see the Shine On Live training bundle. You should see them both there, but they're like as separate courses, if that makes sense. So you have to log into Teachable, then you see them both, and you have to enter one or the other. All right, so while we're on the subject, if anybody's interested, shineon100k.com is where you can pick up the course. All right, let's keep going. So someone asked, why is the stethoscope pendant only available on the platform now and not on only available on the app now, not the platform? Is this the same for the Etched dog tag pendant too? I bought the dog tag pendant from Shopify store. It's amazing. Lots of interest from friends. Pause my Shopify store. Now can't find the product on the platform. The dog tag should be available on both. That's a little bit confusing, but the stethoscope, this was actually an intentional decision from us to move the stethoscope off the platform and into the app. This was because Facebook has just been kind of very finicky about COVID-19 and COVID-related products. And we have lots of new people on the platform that have new ad accounts and aren't super seasoned. And we just thought it'd be best to remove the stethoscope since it might carry some additional risk from the platform. Facebook has come out and said in their policy that as long as your ad account is established, I think you need to have 3 or 4 months of spend with them. They'll let you sell some COVID-related products, like the masks and things like that. But if your ad account's newer than that, there's a good chance you're going to get shut down. So we just thought, hey, we want to protect our user base. A lot of people on the platform are relatively new. And so we pulled it from the platform, and it is still available in the app. It may come back. It's just one of those things. We wanted to protect our user base on that. And by the way, that was something we did proactively. We weren't getting any chatter from the user base or anything like that. It was just something we did proactively to try to protect our user base. All right. Okay. Michael, can you please tell us the best way to test products? How many ads, ad sets? It's watch all my YouTube videos. I'm going to give you the same thing. Look, guys, if you're new and you really want to take advantage of this and you want to do this in this Q4, here's a couple things you need to understand. First of all, this is a skill set. This is not passive income. This isn't set it and forget it. This isn't get rich quick schemes or any of that kind of stuff. I know you've probably seen ads from Facebook gurus and stuff, and they're like, they got Lamborghinis and mansions in the background, and it looks like they got a drink in their hand, and it looks like they've been lounging around all freaking day. That's not this life. That's not what this is. If you want that, you are not going to find that here. This is being able to succeed with print on demand. It's a skill set, and you have to acquire the skill set. And you're going to have to learn. You probably heard the expression, the more you learn, the more you earn. That's very true here. Like, you need to develop, you need to become a student of winning products. You need to understand which phrases work, how to make designs that kind of aren't distracting, that are abstract in nature, that kind of hang out in the background. You need to understand product market fit. You need to, and by the way, these are just fundamentals before you get to the ad stuff. Everybody wants to focus on the ad stuff. That's not where you create a winning campaign. The winning campaign is really the product. You need to become a student of successful products, figure out why they work, why the landing pages work, why the phrases work, why the niche worked, all that kind of stuff. You've really got to understand those kinds of things before you ever get to ads. Then when you do get the ads, you don't need a ton of method. You don't need tons of ad kung fu necessarily to make it work in terms of the campaign structures and things like that. Most of us overcomplicate this step. What you can do is one campaign, 5 ad sets with 5 duplicate ads. That will work just fine for a lot of, I call that the penny slots method. I use that literally every day. I get sales literally every day testing on that. The next place, though, that you're going to have to develop your skill set is copywriting, understanding like some buyer psychology, marketing behaviors, like how to create offers, like those kinds of things. This is a skill set. If you really want to succeed here, you really want to do make kind of e-commerce a full-time gig for you, you've got to learn those fundamentals, and you have to start to develop the skill set. It literally is not something you can learn overnight or anything like that. It takes dedication. I'm just being honest with you. I'm just being straight up and honest with you. This is not passive income, get rich quick. It's not any of that. The opportunity is gigantic. The pie here is huge. The people that crack this thing can literally print cash. All of that is true. I've done this. But it took time to get there. You can't just roll out of bed and be an expert at this by the end of the night. So what I would tell you is what I tell anybody else that's just starting out. What you probably need to do is literally watch every single one of my YouTube videos, and I would do it this weekend. So that means no Netflix, no video games, no lounging around or screwing around the house. You're not going to sleep in this weekend. You're not going to go see your friends. You're not going to do any of that stuff. You are going to dedicate yourself to this. You're going to take notes. You're going to memorize things. Hopefully, you're going to be so up to your eyeballs in it, you're going to dream about it. That's how dedicated you need to be to this. If you want to pull anything out of this Q4, if you're literally just starting right now, go after this with vigor. Go after it with action. Guys, one of the things that you need to understand is it really does not take that much to be exceptional. It doesn't. You just have to do 5% more than the other guy. And most people are not doing very much. That's just the truth. If you want to be exceptional at this, it's really not that hard. You just got to get serious about it, and you got to get in there and grind and have the grit to not give up and to outlast your failures and, make your own success, get good enough. Don't go, I'm not good enough. Make yourself good enough. Make yourself good enough. That's on you, man. Getting a little pumped up here. I should probably cool it down. I'm a firm believer that, look, there's an unpredictable element to life. Like, I understand that. I want to acknowledge that, but I'm a pretty firm believer that your life is your fault. And, and I'm speaking to myself here. Your life is your fault. So make it what you want it to be. So anyway, I think I would just say, I don't know why your comment brought all that up in me, because it's not a bad comment, but just go after it. That's how, if you want answers to these questions, I go watch every single YouTube video I've made. I do it by Sunday. Okay. Whoa, there we go. All right. I want to move towards wrapping this up. Was this helpful for everybody? Can you guys let me know in the chat here? Just tell me what you thought of today's session here, or give me a yes, something as simple as that. Let me know if this was helpful to you today in the chat. No sleep until 2021. That's right, buddy. That is right. You can literally make an entire year's worth of income or more in the next 40 days or whatever. People do it literally every year. Millionaires are literally being made right now. People that were not millionaires yesterday are becoming millionaires using ads right now. Now, I'm going to preface that by saying you can do all this stuff and you're not going to make it, like, there's no guarantees you're going to make money or any of that kind of stuff. I'm trying to point out the opportunity that is available to tap into. Okay, let's keep going here. Helpful. Yes. Sold the box. Dude, I love it. That's 3 that we know of at least, right? Mauricio, Matt, and now Roshan. I love it. Now I'm curious because, have there been sales that haven't been announced? Maybe. It's hard to say. Good work, though. Give yourself a pat on the back. And also pretend you're in the middle of an auditorium and you're standing up and you're sweating and you're nervous and I'm calling you out in front of a bunch of people and they're clapping and they're happy for you and you feel really embarrassed. I cracked myself up. Good work, buddy. Really. All right. Great live. Yes. Great session. I got to tell you, I'm surprised these Q&As go as well as they do because I really just start to feel like I'm talking to myself out here. So appreciate the feedback on this. It really is helpful because without your feedback, I think I would have convinced myself these Q&As aren't very helpful by now. Ricky loves the pep talks at the end. Maybe I can turn this into like a Tony Robbins conference here. We can all like scream. Yeah. All right, here we go. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yes. Dave G, I wish. Not sure what that comment is related to. Go out there and get it. Megan, helpful, especially the ninja secret. Awesome. Action. Yes. Keyword, action. I will tell you this. If you don't take any action, you can just expect nothing. Like the year is just going to end like it always ends. You're going to have Thanksgiving. You're going to have Christmas. You're going to wake up in 2021 and, things are just going to be what they've always been. And maybe that's okay. Maybe you got a pretty good life and you're happy with that. And that's great. I don't want to discourage you in any way, shape, or form. But if you want change, if you want something to be different, if you want to here's the thing, guys, the time is going to pass anyways. Like 2021 is going to be here anyway. Why not spend it on this? Why not develop a skill set? I know so many people and I love them, right? I have friends in my life. I love these guys who just the amount of time that is spent just on nothing is just like watching all the Netflix series and video games and just driving to go get food to eat. And it's like just the time just gets like life will take that time from you. It will find a way to just kind of sap it. And the time is going to pass anyway. Like if you want to write a book, like it doesn't have to be e-com or marketing related. If you want to write a book, if you want to go back to school and get a degree, if you want to change careers, whatever, like, why not just start? Why not just start now and every single day try to get a little bit better? Compound interest applies to more than just finances, guys. It applies to skill sets and mindset and growth and personal development and everything else as well. All the rules, all the laws apply there too. And just every single day, get up and just try to be 1% better. Just 1% better than you were yesterday. And don't wait, just start today. Because again, the time is going to pass anyway. Don't say, yeah, in 10 years, I'd like to write a book or something like that. Because 10 years is going to come quickly, right? The time is going to be here anyway. You may as well fill it with experiences and with your goals and with things you want to do. May as well stretch yourself and fail than not stretch yourself and still fail. That's kind of how I feel about it. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now. Very helpful. What's your YouTube name, please? Just search for Shine On POD in YouTube. You'll see us. You are talking to yourself, but you have more than just walls listening to you. I appreciate that. That is just kind of, I don't know. I just appreciate the feedback because it's hard for me to gauge. If I'm in front of people, I can kind of see, if I'm connecting. It's hard for me to gauge over the internet, you know. Thanks, Richard. Appreciate that. Thanks, Rashawn. Appreciate everybody being here. We are going to wrap this up. No, I'm not doing. Debbie says I should start life coaching. Nope. My life coaching will be hopefully by example, but I don't know. That's kind of a little too egotistical, I think, for me. We're getting a bit more than we bargained for out of this live call. Well, that's good, right? You didn't pay anything for it anyway. So there you go. It's I don't know what I was going to say. I was going to make some smart aleck marketing comment off of that. Now you're talking to me. Thanks, Michael. Thank you for all the value delivered every stream. All right, Mauricio. Everybody, appreciate you joining. Thank you very much. Get out there, sell a bunch of freaking boxes, increase those average order values. Make this a Q4 to remember. Make this a Q4 to remember. Take action. Your results will reflect the amount of action you take. And by the way, you should literally feel like every single day you let pass is money slipping through your fingers. That is literally what it should feel like right now. We are in the middle of Q4. It's the busiest buying time of the entire year. It's like 60% of all e-commerce sales the entire year take place in like 45 days in the run up to Christmas. Every single day, opportunity is slipping through your fingers. You should let that light a fire under you. Let that make you feel a sense of urgency. If you stay up late tonight working on these things, that is not time poorly spent. You should get in there and take action because, like, I'm telling you, millionaires are made literally every single Q4. They're being made right now. People have never had $1 million are getting $1 million this Q4. It is going to happen. So anyways, go out there, take action, make this a Q4, one to remember. Okay, everybody, appreciate you joining, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.